A very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the episode of our season 2023 of Design Meetup, powered by IxDF Kerala and co-sponsored by Experian Technology. To talk about our speaker today is Arun Prasad. Arun Prasad is a front-end consultant with more than 15 years of experience, and he had a solid background in the implementation. Arun also has a high potential in the area of usability standards and the design ideas, and he is now currently managing US activities.
So, good evening, all. Today, I am taking you through a small session about the basics of usability testing. So, what is usability testing and why it is important? Usability testing is a method of evaluating a product by testing it with actual users who are going to use the product. And this is done by observing the user's behavior when they interact with your product. We can easily identify the areas where they struggle or they face any frustration or facing any difficulty in completing a particular task. Usability testing is very important because it helps designers and developers to uncover so many problems in the design, and it also helps to learn about the user's behavior and preferences while using the product. And also this helps to discover the opportunities to improve the design by identifying the issues in the early stages of the design process. So let's talk about when to conduct a usability testing. We can conduct usability testing in any of the three phases: before design, during design, and post-launch of the product. So we can conduct usability study in the before design phase only if we have a clear idea about the product we are going to build. For example, if you are going to build an app and you have a clear idea about what the app is all about, then you can do a usability testing. But the main thing we need to make sure that there will be a prototype to test with the user. Then only we can identify the usability issues. So there must be a prototype to test with the user. Then only we can identify the usability issues. Another scenario is if there is an existing product and we are going to redesign that product by identifying and rectifying the current pain points of the user. We can also do usability testing in the design phase. And this is a crucial step in the iterative design process. This allows you to evaluate the usability of your design concepts and identify the potential issues in the early stages of the design decisions. In the post-launch, we will conduct usability testing to understand how the user is interacting with the product in the real world and check if they face any difficulty in using the product. The core elements of usability testing. There are many different types of usability testing, but the core elements in the most usability tests are the facilitators, the task, and the participant. The role of the facilitator is in the usability testing is very crucial to ensure the smooth and productive testing session. The facilitator first set up the testing environment with necessary equipment, softwares, and materials, and then welcome the participant and build a rapport to create a positive testing environment to make sure that the participant will give honest feedback throughout the session. So the facilitator first set up the testing environment with the equipment and then welcome the participant. And then there need to be a clear rapport between the facilitator and the participant. Then only they can give the correct feedback. Otherwise, they will hesitate to give the feedback while testing. After that, the facilitator explained the testing process to the participant, like why we are conducting this session and what's the purpose of this testing. And he guides the participant through each of the tasks they need to perform. And during the testing process, the facilitator encourages the participant to think aloud and verbalize their thoughts and feelings when they interact with the design. Facilitator then observe the participant and take notes on the behavior and comments and any difficulty they face during the testing section. So while during the testing session, facilitator observes the participant behavior and always taking notes and notes on the comments and if there is any difficulty during the testing, all the things were noted by the facilitator. And he also make sure that the testing session is staying on the track, stays on the track, and the participant must finish the task in the given allotted time. And if they face any difficulty in between or they stuck in between, the facilitator give additional guidance to move forward. And he will also ask the facilitator always ask follow-up questions to get more in-depth insights and clarification from the participants about the task they perform. And throughout the session, the facilitator remains neutral to avoid personal opinions that influence the participant responses. After completing the session, the facilitator need to thank the participant for joining the training section and ask if do they have any concerns or questions they have. So they need to take down all the information from the participant. And about the participant in the testing environment are individuals who represent the largest users of the product. The participants are selected based on the specific criteria that align with the intended user demographics or user personas. So, for example, if we are going to test a food delivery app, then the participants are from, then the users are from the different age group, right? So we need to take the participants from between the 15 to 25 years of age and another participant from 50 to 60 years of age. So this helps the designers and developers to give deeper understanding the user needs and preferences. In the usability testing, the tasks are the central component that the participants are asked to perform in the evaluate the usability of a product. The tasks are assigned to simulate the real-world scenarios and interaction the users typically engages in. Tasks assigned in participant may vary depending on the goals and objectives of the usability test. So some of the common tasks in the usability testing are onboarding. So where the participant may ask the registration or onboarding process of a web application. This task helps to evaluate the clarity and efficiency of the onboarding flow. And another one is scenario-based task. As the name mentioned, the participant may given realistic scenarios to perform like flight ticket booking, purchase a product, etc. So this is a picture of a usability testing environment. This is called in-person testing. Here you can see the participant sits on the left side and the facilitator is sitting on the right side. The facilitator have a task sheet and explaining each task to the participant to perform. The participant laptop consists of a screen recording software and a web camera to capture the facial expressions and behaviors of the participant. And the facilitator administrator each task to the participant and listens the participant feedback and taking the notes. This is a picture of an in-person testing environment. There are mainly two types of remote usability testing, moderated and unmoderated. In the moderated testing, the participants and facilitators are sitting in different locations. In the previous picture, we can see that it's an in-person testing. So the participants and facilitators are sitting in the same environment. But in the moderate tester, they are sitting in different locations. But the facilitator interacts with the participant through screen sharing softwares like Teams, GoToMeeting, and Type. So they can interact at the same time, right? But not in the same physical location. So advantages of this testing is they can build a good rapport with the participation and they can guide through each task to the participant throughout the testing session. And they can ask real-time questions, etc. But in the unmoderated testing, there is no facilitator interaction between the participant. So there is no face-to-face interaction and anything like that. So here the facilitator do the thing is he will set up a remote testing tool and set up tasks to the participant through this remote testing tool. So the participant can take the testing session alone in his time, like if he's sitting in home or alone his time, like whenever he is free, he can attend this session. So the testing tools deliver each task to one by one to the participant while completing each task. So once the participant completes the task, the facilitator receives the recordings and videos of that task along with the task matrices. So advantages of this unmoderated testing is the participant can perform tasks on their own schedules in their comfortable premises. The main advantage is they will give honest feedback to the facilitator because they are not seeing face to face, and so they don't think why when I answer like this, what the facilitator will think like that. So they will give honest feedback to the participant. This is very helpful for the test process. So how to conduct a remote usability testing? So first we need to prepare a usability testing protocol, and then we need to set up the testing environment. And after that, facilitator need to invite the participant and to build a good rapport with the participant and make them feel comfortable before starting the session, because this is very helpful for getting honest feedback from the participant. And also the facilitator need to thank the participant for giving his valuable time for the participation in the usability study of the product. So you need to ask permission to the participant for if we record any video or audio in the throughout the session. And after that, we need to explain each task to the participant they are going to perform. We need to go through each of these tasks they need to perform and give proper explanation how to do this task, etc. like that. So we need to give proper explanation for each task. And we also need to remind the participant that you need to give honest feedback. Otherwise, we cannot improve the usability of the product. And also make sure that and always remind them that the participants are not going to be tested, and this is only for this feedback. Your feedback is only for improving the design solutions. And also don't force the participant to perform the task. And the facilitator must behave neutral throughout the session. The only intention from the facilitator is to get as many information from the participant to make the product more user friendly. So what are the things we capture during the testing session? So first we capture the basic details of the participants like age, location, etc. And after that, what device they are going to use for interacting with the design solution. And also we need to record the time taken for completing each task. And we need to catch the words the participant using while using the product, like, oh, this is not loading, or this button is not working. We need to capture all this information through the testing process. And we need to also record the actions and gestures used by the participants and the questions they ask while performing the task, and the suggestions and recommendations from the participant. These all things will always help for the better usability of the product. So this is a typical example of a user testing form. So through this form, we are capturing the feedback from the participants. So here you can see that the task will like opening the mobile application, sending money, changing password, etc. And you can see the time taken for each task, like for the opening mobile application, it really takes less than 1 minute. And the behavior is user often went directly to page without signing. And we all get and also get the user thoughts. And you can see the success rate of each task, like is it success or failure, like that. So we will capture all this information through this tracking form, and based on these findings, from the usability testing, the design need to iterate the design and repeat the testing process for evaluating the effectiveness of the changes. So this is an iterative process, and we need to test it again and again for making the product more user friendly. Thank you.